Hey, Carl Munson for Expats Portugal, and a bit of an update for the Golden Visa with our friend here from Holborn Assets, Jason.swan. How are you, Jason?
Very good, thank you, Cal. How you doing?
I'm good. Like you, I think, anticipating a somewhat quieter August here in Portugal. We're told this, aren't we? Don't expect anything to happen in August in Portugal. And then next thing we know, last Monday, the president is on his way to Poland and Ukraine, we discover as well, and leaves a message for the prime minister with a bit of a pushback on the Mais Habitação policies, proposals, and a little bit of a glimmer of hope for people interested in the Golden Visa. What do you make of this?
It's been a busy week. It was against the odds. I was expecting a few weeks off come Monday, and it all, it all changed. So obviously, it's been a real rush over the past few weeks to try and get as many applications through as possible before the deadline. We kind of had odds on that the laws were going to change as of Monday, and then the president went completely against the grain and vetoed the whole thing, which buys us an extra 45 days.
So that's the bottom line, is it? With what he's done, and I think the Portuguese word, as it's translated, is promulgation, isn't it, of the laws? And he refused to do so, didn't he? He kind of sent them away with a flea in their ear in the shape of a presidential memo. Can you give us a bit more detail on what he said and what it means?
Basically, he's not in agreement with the benefit of the plan as it stands. It needs further amendments. There's not been a lot of talk specifically around the Golden Visa program. It's more to do with the kind of long-term lets. But as it stands, he's just not happy with the latest version of the new draft law. So once the part around the long-term lets is addressed, we'll then find out more about the Golden Visa part. But at the next session, which is in around about 40 days' time, the government does have the ability to override on this one. So it will be the final call. I think we keep saying this, and we keep thinking it's the last one. But we're pretty confident this time round it will change.
So, Jason, is it fair to say this is a little bit of a stay of execution, possibly? But the bottom line being, people have an extended period in which to consider and apply for a Golden Visa.
Yeah, I mean, the average time, Carl, from start to finish is taking us around 2 to 4 weeks on average. The fastest we've done start to finish is about 10 days, but on average, kind of 2 to 4 weeks, which includes, of course, finding a qualifying investment, setting up bank accounts, applying for the tax numbers, and of course, submitting the application for the visa. So the checkpoint is just the submission of the application. And the government has confirmed that any applications that are submitted before the law physically comes into effect will be honoured and protected under the current law. But it still takes kind of 2 to 4 weeks, which takes us kind of towards the back end of September. We're expecting the change to come in kind of end of September, maybe early October. So we've got a bit more time now, which is good.
And how it works with Holborn Assets, I remember you saying we talked a few times, haven't we, about how the process has worked for you. And it may have been we thought we'd had the last conversation, but here we go again, which is a great thing that we do. There is this effectively an extension now. And what Holborn Assets can do for you is basically take care of all the bits that on your behalf, if you're a Golden Visa applicant, apart from this you have to do yourself. But you do all the heavy lifting, so to speak, don't you?
Yeah, we do the full process. So we hold our client's hand right throughout the kind of 5 to 6 year process. First and foremost, we have to find a good investment that qualifies under the current criteria. Whether myself and my team will then do all the kind of back office work with regard to tax numbers, bank accounts, submissions, translations, and so on. And we try and make a very difficult process, sometimes as easy as possible, and we do the legwork, of course, on our client's behalf.
Brilliant. Okay, so there you go. 45 days more extended to this whole process. Time to still consider the Golden Visa, and you have investment vehicles and options for doing so.
Yes, there is still availability from €280,000. The current criteria, Carl, at 280 is to invest into some kind of commercial property like a hotel, whether it's a share in a hotel or whether it's an apartment within a hotel complex. And yeah, the next point is 350, 400, and then 500. But yes, still some availability at each of those price points. But we're not expecting any new properties now to come to market, of course, with an ever increasingly small window to get everything through.
Yeah. Okay. So this, we daren't say it, but this really might be the last opportunity, right?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, we're not kind of at the kind of panic station just yet, where
Yeah.
we have to rush with the extension. But from what we understand, yeah, that next time the government is set, they are set on changing the law to remove any kind of property investment from the criteria as a solution to solve Portugal's housing crisis. And whether the president agrees or not next time round, they do have the power to enforce that. So
Yeah.
unless they have a sudden change of heart, which is very unlikely at this stage, following kind of 3 or 4 months of votes in Parliament, we can be pretty safe to say it's probably the last roll of the dice.
Yeah. Right. And the best way to get in touch with you if you want to talk about this or get the ball rolling or the dice rolling, as you put it there.
Yeah, best bet is to can send an email with any questions, which is jason.swan, with just the one N, at holbornassets.com. And we can set up a meeting. It's a free consultation for me to go through any questions that you may have. We can look at all the remaining property options that are out there in Portugal. And yeah, of course, we can go through the costs of the process as to what to expect.
And I'm so sorry that your August isn't quite as you planned, but all for a good reason, to get those golden visa applications through. Now, what would you have been doing if you don't mind me rubbing it in a little bit? Where would you have been, in the Algarve?
I would probably be sat in my garden, to be honest, Carl, trying to
Right.
work
Okay.
on
So
my tan, which, as you can see, is lacking. I think I'm whiter now than I was when I lived in Manchester. So yeah, maybe in 45 days' time we can get the sun done.
amazing. Amazing. Well, good luck with that. And yeah, maybe, yeah, in a month and a half or so, you'll get the chance to do that. And that email address once again, please, Jason.
Yeah, it's jason.swan, SWAN, at holbornassets.com.
It's always good to talk to you. Enjoy what little of the sun you do get to experience, maybe through your window, and keep up the good work with all those golden visa applications, Jason.
Yeah, thanks, Gal. Good to chat.
Bye for
I'll
now.
speak to you soon.